There are so many things to consider and think about. And I'm working on some prints. And I'm using tomato soup in my collaboration with Kevin Blanche. I'm working on some prints, as you can see behind me. On the table. Have you ever wondered why there never was an image or symbol of a pyramid in the Egyptian hieroglyphs? Have you ever wondered why? And I've talked about Fomenko and his reevaluation of what we call history, consensual history. It may actually be that what we believe to be historical in terms of chronology going back 6,000 years is a bunch of hooey. I am one who actually also believes that history is not what we are told it is, and we are being undermined. And I'm going to attach a video that I came across by listening to a YouTuber talking about the divine right of kings, what I have talked about in the past, Akhenaten. His name was Amenhotep IV, and he changed it to Akhenaten. Now, there is in Egyptian mythology, and what Kennedy in his famous speech referred to as the secret societies that are undermining us. I believe there is a connection between the demise we face with FUKUSHIMA and the secret societies that have actually infiltrated all nations, all peoples on this earth, have reduced us to drones through information, through propaganda. Hollywood is a tool within this propaganda of keeping us stupid, animated with hate and aggression, to create soldiers for the pharaohs, the people that have undermined our psyches, which is something that brings me back to what I do as a painter, as an artist, using insight and insight through intuition. And I'm not someone who comes out and gives you a great deal of information about things, because I'm not an information person. I've been saying this. And we need to begin to transition from the information, because we are being so overloaded with information. We're no longer capable of connecting our spirit with the real world, that which is around us. And I just want to give a small example. The idea of there not being any pyramids, the most important thing of Egyptian history, appearing in the glyphs. Check it out, please. Don't take my word for it. Go into Egyptology and see if you can find a pyramid represented on the walls. Why, did they all get erased, or did somebody come and redact the pyramids because they didn't want them to show up? It's kind of peculiar. I'm just saying this, and I'm saying this because intuitively I've understood what has undermined our spirit, our progress, which is what is called the divine right of kings, based on the Emperor Akhenaten in Egypt at some point. I don't believe it was 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, a lot more recent. And we are now facing Amen-Ra, and I would say to the people, the religious, the spiritual people that are still adhering to what is considered to be institutional religions like Catholicism, the Vatican, a pagan, pedophile institution, undermining us. And I'll tell you now how the undermining works, and it includes FUKUSHIMA, Amen-Ra, Ra, the god of the sun, the symbol of the sun, the circle that is Japan, the Japan circle, coming now to total and utter fruition in the undermining of all life on this planet, which is what I believe to have been the origin of Akhenaten. And Akhenaten, Amen-Ra, was actually, Akhenaten was the monotheistic emperor, and the Amen-Ra crowd tried to pummel him. They're all the same bunch. They're all the same bunch because we are not allowed to realize the true power within ourselves. This is the essence. This is the idea behind the divine right of kings, coming, the Amen-Ra, the sun, coming to fruition on our planet. We have no place for the sun on this planet, recreated through nuclear fission. This is part of the mythology, and I'm going to attach quite a good video by a fellow who unravels the symbology, the pagan symbology. So when you Catholics say Amen, you are invoking Amun-Ra. It is an Egyptian deity. You don't want anything to do with this Egyptian deity. The Amen is destructive to our nature, which is why I, as an artist, I, as a painter, am interested in creating a mythology that is grassroots, on the ground, you and me. This is the essence of all great art. Of course, many artists sold out to the oligarchs, and they decorated their halls. I have no interest in those artists, even if they exemplified our true power of monumental within ourselves, an individual exhibiting incredible power and insight, but not being used to empower the individual that is you. My work is about empowering you. It is coming to my own realizations and empowering you. And we understand the undermining of us. And I have always said that it has been an inner war that we fight within ourselves to actually come to a realization about our true potential and power, which is being undermined by the institutions of death, what I call the culture of death. We no longer have the luxury of footballing around with this culture of death because it is physically now absorbed, Amen-Ra, in the form of Japan, who have the circle, the red circle, the circle of destruction on this planet, which is the psychology of undermining us. You look at the obelisk, which is everywhere in symbology on these buildings, these structures, these institutions of death. Find out what it is, and the obelisk, I'll tell you in a nutshell, is the undermining of us. It is the rite of circumcision. The keystone on top of the obelisk represents circumcision. I'm convinced of this. I'm not circumcised, fortunately. This has been an undermining, a brutalization of us. If the Creator had wanted us to be without a foreskin, he would have created us this way. So the tradition that reinforces and undermines our strength is represented by the obelisk, another Egyptian, what we call a pagan symbol. These pagan symbols are through the Vatican, an organization that basically covers up. It is a front for a pedophile ring that has been exposed. None of the popes, including Francis, will ever let this come out. Pope Francis is not on our side, no matter what anybody thinks. These people are there to undermine the general population from progressing to where they need to go. And I, as a painter, as an artist, am dedicated to actually exposing the enemies to our souls, exposing, like all great artists, Vincent, Goya, people that I admire, who I'm not even sure whether they were consciously aware of who they were fighting. They were fighting the greatest dragon ever. Amun-Ra, Akhenaten, what religion, Catholic religion tells us is pagan, which they have absorbed. I am not on the side of this pagan symbology. I will create my own symbology. I will try to step outside of the institutions of death, the culture of death. In the age of fission, we are in the age of fission, and we need to become aware that we have an opportunity through this enormous catastrophe to join. And this will be another video. I want to talk about how we accomplish this. And it's not through regurgitating over and over the facts of our demise. It is actually to be able to create the mythology amongst us, the spirit amongst us to join forces as in warriors. Listen, check out this video. This guy is going through a lot of material. He's a little blah, blah, blah over and over, but check it out. We need to become the source without relying on outside. We help each other, but we need to become a source. And how do we do this? There's so much to go on here. I will leave it here and I'll do another video.